What is up, everybody? My name is ELEMENTofFROST, and today we're here to bring you guys another review for a WWE pay-per-view. And today we're going to be doing it on Money in the Bank 2016, one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time, in my personal opinion. It was amazing. It really, really was. And to get into things real quick, I was going to do this with Randall. I still had plans to do it with Randall, but you know, he works a lot. He only got really the opportunity to do it late at night, like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and that was never really working out. So, unfortunately, he won't be doing the reviews and the predictions, you know, every single time. I mean, predictions are pretty easy to do because we could do them on Friday, and, you know, he doesn't have work then. But with reviews, you know, we sort of want to get them out roughly after the pay-per-view comes out, and, you know, today is Wednesday, so, I mean, that's pushing it, you know what I mean? So, anyway, review on Money in the Bank 2016, we're here to do it. We're going to go through the matches and everything like that. We're going to hit on the important matches. We're going to sort of just breeze by the results of the, you know, the not so good matches, you know, the average ones. And, yeah, we'll just go through them. Now, this style of video is going to go back to, you know, sort of what I've done before here on my channel. You know, the whole do a commentary in one setting and then place gameplay over it and upload that. But the reason it's going to be like that for this is because it's a pay-per-view, you know, review. I don't really take breaks in that, and you know what I mean? I don't really have gameplay that I just go through a long period of time. There's a truck outside and stuff like that. It's the old style of recording, and that's the best it's going to get, alright? So there's not really any skipping, you know what I mean? You can't really do it when you're not doing it live, in my personal opinion. But if you guys want to see something, let me know, and I could definitely, you know, see what I could do for the next one. But starting off with the kickoff matches. Okay, so we have the Golden Truth versus Breezangle. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't even watch the kickoff, to be honest with you. But we're going to review them briefly anyway. Okay, so we have R-Truth and Goldust, the Golden Truth, versus Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Okay, obviously Breezangle or whatever. Really, really dumb match, in my personal opinion. Especially before the match, apparently they tried to murder them in some tanning beds, and basically Breezango came out with a bunch of like cringy burns on their body, and it was a horrible match. It really was. It didn't really make sense at all. But anyway, that Golden Truth won. Okay, they defeated Breezango, and no one really cared. Lucha Dragons versus the Dudley Boys. Again, another tag team match for the kickoff match. Again, not really many people cared. The Dudley Boys should not be on the kickoff match, in my personal opinion. They should either be retired, you know what I mean, if they're not going to be taken seriously, or they should be taken seriously. There's no other way around it. Like, this is just, it's a pointless match for them. It doesn't make sense. Their career's a lot better. They could be doing a lot more extreme things, and they just don't let them do it. So, Lucha Dragons went ahead and went over the Dudley Boys. They wouldn't even give the Dudley Boys a, you know, a win there. So that was even disappointing. Again, I didn't watch the kickoff, but just hearing about it, you know what I mean, that's pretty disappointing. A decorated tag team like the Dudley Boys should at least go over once in a while, and that rarely happens. So, now, 3 tag team matches in a row. The kickoffs, and then on main card, we started off with the tag team championship match between the New Day versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the Vaudevillains. So, fatal 4-way tag team match, and a lot of things happened. Luke Gallows at one point looked like he didn't know how to wrestle. You know what I mean? He sort of just let Carl Anderson get picked up by Big E and dropped, and Luke Gallows was just sort of standing there. He was supposed to be maybe selling a move or something. I don't really know what the hell he was doing, to be honest with you. I have not a clue. But anyway, it looked bad. At one point, Enzo actually did get a 3 count, but it didn't count apparently because, you know, it was scripted obviously for him to get pulled out of the ring. But anyway, point is, the New Day won. Okay, they retained their WWE Tag Team Championships, and I'm all for the New Day, you know what I mean, but it's been a very long time, and I feel like the reason they haven't lost it yet is because they want to trump that record set by Paul London and Brian Kendrick of, you know, 330-something days or whatever. That's what they probably want to do with the New Day, you know, trump that record, and then they'll probably lose it at least soon afterwards, so that's probably what they're gonna, you know, try to do here with the New Day. But it is getting old. As much as I like the New Day, they need to lose it, man. They have to move on to other things. I know that it's the tag team championships. You know, they're a tag team. That's kind of the objective for them. Which, don't get me wrong, it is. You know what I mean? That's still always going to be the objective for them. But at the same time, you know, lose it. Win the tag team titles multiple times. You know, that's how you become great, is winning it multiple times, not just holding on to the second reign and, you know, just going over everybody at every single point of the year. It just gets boring, in my opinion. Okay? So, New Day retained. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler, the match that no one wanted to see for the 16th time. Now, in this match, it was actually really, really good, and it would have been a lot better if they would just let Baron Corbin be a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like, the entire match he was throwing punches, and that's it. You know, if you guys don't know Baron Corbin, he was a former boxer, and the entire match, he literally just kept punching Dolph Ziggler. I mean, that was pretty much it. But I am glad that he did go over, you know what I mean? He did actually beat Dolph Ziggler, middle of the ring with the End of Days, which is a sick move, by the way. I love it. But hopefully now they can get finally over this rivalry and start fighting other people. That's what I'm looking forward to most here. Baron Corbin won. That's the result. Now we have a tag team match. Again, another match that no one is going to care about. And no one cared about at the time either. We have Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. Not for the title, not for anything or anything like it. It's literally just a tag team match, you know what I mean? The women's champion, I think, should have to defend, you know, on a pay-per-view. Same with the Intercontinental title. We'll get into that a little later, but still frustrated about that. Anyway, Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. Charlotte and Dana Brooke ended up picking up the win by making, I believe, Natalya tap, if I do remember correctly. I didn't really pay attention, you know, too much in the match. I mostly fast-forwarded until the end of it. And anyway, they ended up pulling out the victory. And then out of nowhere, Natalya gets mad at her best friend, Becky Lynch, and just beats the ever-living shit out of her. For what reason? No one knows. Just cuz. That's pretty much it. There's no other reason for it at all. She turned heel, turned on Becky Lynch, and now they're setting up for a rivalry, you know, potentially. I can understand Natalya's frustration with not being able to, you know, win the Women's Championship the past couple of months, but there's no reason at all to take out Becky. It doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? She hasn't done anything, you know? Anyway, moving on. Apollo Crews versus Sheamus. Apollo Crews actually went over, which I was actually surprised. Apollo Crews beat Sheamus one-on-one. Very decent, you know what I mean, match. It's always entertaining to see Apollo Crews, but he's not very over with the WWE Universe, so that's a very, you know, negative point on his resume, is that he's just not too over with everybody, you know what I mean? If they turned him into a mass heel and just let him beat the shit out of everyone, I think it would be a lot better for his career. But nonetheless, he went over Sheamus. He beat him in the middle of the ring. So that's that match. Again, we're not going to go into detail about two, you know, unimportant matches, but the rest of these are pretty important. There's one of them that's not really that important, but we'll hit on. Next match of the night, one of the main events, to be honest with you, AJ Styles versus John Cena. Now, a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are pissed at the way this match ended up going. The once-in-a-lifetime match, the dream match, everything like that, first time ever, whatever. AJ Styles versus John Cena. AJ Styles did end up picking up the victory, but he didn't do it clean. The club came out after the referee got knocked down and took out John Cena, and basically just dragged AJ on top of Cena. Now, the entire match, Styles was absolutely schooling Cena in every aspect of the word schooling. Absolutely just mind-blowingly taking John Cena apart. And there's no other way to put it. He was just making John Cena look like an idiot, to be honest with you. The amount of talent in that man is unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's not necessary to have that much talent running through you in terms of wrestling or anything, you know, in that aspect of the word. But anyway, he ended up going over John Cena, but again, not cleanly, so it sort of made Styles look weak. A lot of people are pissed about that ending. I think that Styles, you know, should have gone over clean, and a lot of people think that should have happened as well. And I do too, you know what I mean? I'm not 100%, you know, angry, I'm not going to watch this anymore type thing, but I am angry that he didn't get to go over him clean, or anything like that. Again, it's either they make AJ Styles lose at every pay-per-view, or they make him win by cheating. That's how they do it. And for what reason, nobody really knows. We can really, you know, expect that it's his past future with like TNA and everything like that. We don't really know. But I mean, just look at his resume already in the WWE. You know what I mean? Like, he won at Fastlane against Jericho. He lost his WrestleMania debut. He lost against Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules. He lost against Roman Reigns at Payback. That's 3 pay-per-views in a row that he lost at. And then the 4th pay-per-view that he should have went over clean, in my opinion, that made him look really, really weak and go over by cheating. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any other thoughts on that other than the fact that they're just making him look weak. And no one really knows why. You know, no one really knows why. Anyway, that's that. Dean Ambrose went ahead and won the Money in the Bank ladder match. That is right, everybody. It was a sick match. 6 guys in it. If I can remember all of them. Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, Alberto Del Rio, and Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose actually ended up winning Money in the Bank, and he got the contract. If you guys have been keeping up with WWE, you know exactly where this is hidden. It was a sick match. There was a few spots that made me think that Kevin Owens might have died. There was like a Falcon Arrow, or some sort of version of a Falcon Arrow, like a suplex sit-down slam by Sami Zayn on the edge of a ladder. Not like the ladder flat, you know what I mean, on the ground. It was like tilted up, and it looked fucking horrible. But anyway, Dean Ambrose went ahead and won the match. I thought that Kevin Owens was going to go, but it seems like they're heading in a direction where, you know, he's not really done with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn isn't done with him. So that's probably going to head towards SummerSlam. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Okay, so Dean Ambrose won Money in the Bank. He's Mr. Money in the Bank. United States Champion Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. As cringy as this match was before it started, Titus O'Neil, for some reason, coming out and just straight kissing his son on the lips. Like, it wasn't even a little boy either. Like, this guy was like full-grown son. Like, I'm talking like 14, 15, you know, somewhere around there. Very uncomfortable to watch. I don't really have a problem with it. If you want to do it, whatever. It just looked really, really horrible. You know, it really did. Like, I joking with Randall, you know, when we were watching it, he basically brought up that you know, there might have been a little tongue. Obviously, that's just a joke. But anyways, Rusev ended up beating Titus O'Neil, middle of the ring, fair and square, retaining the U.S. Championship. Again, we're not going to go too much into that match because we have to hit up the main event here. Which brings me to one of the greatest moments of all time, not only in this pay-per-view, but in WWE in a very, very long while. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Everybody thought that Roman Reigns was just going to plow through Seth. You know what I mean? And he did for most of the match, actually. Surprisingly enough, Roman Reigns was sort of playing a heel, you know, card in that match, while Seth Rollins was sort of, you know, playing the face, to be honest with you, you know? Roman Reigns was mostly dominating the entire match, which we know that's what heels usually do. You know what I mean? They usually dominate the entire match, and the face comes back, you know, to defy the odds and yada 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 and win the match, right? Not how it went. Roman Reigns was the heel, Seth Rollins was the face, even though Seth Rollins is the heel and Roman Reigns is supposed to be the face, even though he gets booed louder than any other person in the company, except for maybe you know, the redhead. I honestly don't even remember her name at this point. She's on NXT. Eva Marie. That's it. Yep, just came to me. Anyway, she's the only one that gets booed louder than Roman Reigns. Okay, so Seth Rollins. It was an amazing match. It was so good. At one point, Roman Reigns went for a spear on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins jumped up into it and countered the spear directly midair into a pedigree, which was sick. I thought he was going to win it there. He ended up not winning it there. Roman Reigns kicked out at 2, of course. I just thought he was going to be no-selling the damn thing. Anyway, right away, he literally, as soon as he got that 2 count, he picks up Roman Reigns, middle of the ring, hooks his arms, hits another pedigree, middle of the ring. I'm like, oh fuck. Well, he's just gonna kick out at 2 pedigrees, and he doesn't. Seth Rollins wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship cleanly, 100% cleanly. Did not cheat whatsoever. Beat Roman Reigns clean in the middle of the ring. And that was fucking insane. Everybody was going absolutely batshit crazy in the crowd. Everybody was shocked. to see Roman Reigns, fall like that, because he usually just kicks out of like every fucking finisher you throw at the fucker and then hits you with a spear and you're done, right? That's usually how it goes, but not this time. Seth Rollins won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, two-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins was, basically celebrating, in the ring, and boom, Dean Ambrose. Music hits. He looks to the Titantron, waits for Dean to come out. Dean comes in from behind him. Seth turns around. Dean hits him with Money in the Bank briefcase. Seth goes down, just winning the title for the second time. And Dean Ambrose cashes in Money in the Bank. Bell rings. Dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose is now your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Literally out of nowhere. It was the most exciting time in a pay-per-view in a very, very long time. Nonetheless, Roman Reigns lost the title clean to Seth Rollins, which I was very, very happy about. And then Dean Ambrose came in and, sort of took it off the heel again, or quote-unquote heel, by cashing in Money in the Bank on the night that he won the Money in the Bank contract, which hasn't been done since I believe like 2011, 2010 with Kane cashing in on Rey Mysterio. I don't remember exactly what year that was. It was either 10 or 11. I don't quite remember, but anyway, cashes in Money in the Bank, wins World Heavyweight Championship, and everybody goes batshit crazy yet again and starts screaming and cheering. Like, the place was lit. There's no other way to put it. And to briefly hit on the Intercontinental Championship, they're basically making Miz not defend the Intercontinental Championship while he's filming, I believe, the Marine 4 or the Marine 5. I don't even fucking know at this point. I don't know which Marine it is. But anyway, he's filming a movie and he doesn't actually have to defend the Intercontinental Championship, which I think is stupid, man. Like, he won it from Zack Ryder. They could have just kept it on Zack, or made Miz at least drop it to, Sami Zayn or Cesaro or, Kevin Owens if they weren't going to win Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? Why keep it on the Miz and just have the Intercontinental Championship inactive? It doesn't make sense to me. But nonetheless, without that being said, we have Seth Rollins, the new World Heavyweight Champion, and then Dean Ambrose, the new World Heavyweight Champion. Which, by the way, means all 3 Shield members were WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the same night at one point. That's amazing to me. That's pretty fucking sick. I have to say that right now. Now, to go over what happened the next night on Raw, basically Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins came out. They wanted, a rematch, whatever. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns ended up going one-on-one at the end of the night in the main event of Raw. For the shot to face Dean for the World Heavyweight Championship at Battleground, the upcoming pay-per-view, I believe, on July 23rd. I think that's correct. And it ended up actually being a double countout. You know what I mean? So, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins both got counted out. There was no clear winner. Shane McMahon came out, and Dean Ambrose basically told Shane, this is how we're going to do things. I'll fight Seth Rollins, I'll fight Roman Reigns in the same night at Battleground for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't care, I'll fight both of them. And that's when Shane basically said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a Shield triple threat at Battleground for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's where we end things off. Until the next day, where we find out that Roman Reigns has been suspended for 30 days for violating the talent wellness policy. That probably came to a shock for you. If you didn't hear that before, you just heard it from me. But Roman Reigns has been suspended for 30 days. So now we have to wonder, did he really just drop the title at Money in the Bank to Seth Rollins cleanly because they knew, about that wellness policy violation? He had to drop the title. He can't defend it not for 30 days, or at least appear, for 30 days. That'd be pretty shitty. And so, things could have definitely ended differently. You know what I mean? They definitely could have ended differently if he didn't violate that wellness policy. So it's his first violation, which means he is suspended for 30 days. So that is that. And his 30-day suspension does end before the WWE Battleground pay-per-view on July 23rd. So the match at Battleground obviously could still happen. That might have been the plan from the get-go. Whether or not he'll be taking back the gold, I strongly doubt it. They probably disappointed the shit out of Vince McMahon and WWE and everything like that by violating the wellness policy, because it's their guy, you know what I mean? He's been handed everything on a silver platter, and as much as you guys, you know, if you're a fan of Roman Reigns, you don't want to admit that, that's fine, don't admit it. But it's true, you know what I mean? Behind the scenes, it's true, 100%. And that's their guy, you know what I mean? They stuck with him, and that's how he repays them, you know what I mean? I kind of felt bad, you know, not for Roman Reigns because it was his stupid mistake, but I kind of felt bad for the fact that you know, they put all this money, time, and effort into still making Roman Reigns their guy no matter what, even if the fans boo the shit out of him every single time he comes out. And Roman Reigns, the 3-time champion, you know, within like 7 months, and he repays him by violating this wellness policy. So it was a pretty shitty thing to do. I don't think that it should ruin his career. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, for him to come back and never win the title again, or, you know, be put on the back burner because it still is their guy, whether or not that'll continue to be the thing. I doubt it's going to be pushed as much, but I feel like they're still going to have some faith in him, because I don't think that it should ruin his career. You know, it was a mistake. Obviously, he owned up to it on Twitter. And that's that, everybody. So, Dean Ambrose is your new World Heavyweight Champion, and that should be entertaining for the next 5 weeks until, you know, the Battleground pay-per-view. I'm pretty excited for that. Hopefully you guys are as well. And if you guys enjoyed today's Money in the Bank review, let me know in the comment section below. It would really help out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I can bring you guys a WWE, you know, weekly review of Raw, SmackDown, and everything like that, NXT and stuff. Maybe I can do that if you guys would be interested. Maybe like Fridays or something. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know though. Alright? So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now, guys. Alright, welcome everybody back to Rust. Okay? And we are here, and I'm glad that we are alive, because I was expecting, honestly, not to be completely honest with you. So anyway, welcome back to Rust, everybody. My name is Nathan, or ELEMENTofFROST, and we're back here yet again. And the question that I want to ask you guys today is, do you guys want to see a survival series? And I mean, not just really any survival series. I can do one of two things right off the bat, and maybe eventually